Hey my friend, welcome to day 7 of our 30-day challenge. Now, if you are new here and this is your first video, you can go back to the beginning and start along with us, or if you want to, you can just jump on the challenge today. It's not the end of the world if you don't start from the day 1, because guess what? This whole challenge, this whole 30-day period is all about progress, not perfection. It's easy to feel like we have to be perfect all the time, that there's only one way to get things done, and that is not the case. It's all about finding what works for your body, finding what feels good for you. And that's actually what today's video is about. If you've noticed, we've worked on plank all week, and we've done a couple of different ways to get ourselves a little stronger, a little stretchier in those places. And this is another way for us to find some planks. We are going to utilize things that we should have around our house, meaning something like a wall. Hopefully we have a wall around our house. And then hopefully you've got a chair of some kind. And it doesn't have to be a bench, like mine's a little stool, what I've got behind me. But if you have either a chair that works for you, maybe a coffee table, maybe the side of your couch, anything that's sturdy enough to kind of hold you up just a little bit, it's a great little way for us to take some of that pressure off our upper body while doing planks. So roll out your mats, grab your chair, and let's get started. Hey friend, so I know that this week we're kind of focusing on our plank, and there's probably one modification you've probably done and I don't ever do it, and I want to talk about it real quick. And I'm not saying that it's incorrect by any means, I'm just saying I don't personally like this, which is why I don't do it. Now, if you've ever been in a class where you're doing planks or push-ups and an instructor said you can lift up your knees and do kneeling push-ups, that is a fabulous way to take some of that pressure off your wrist, off your upper body, and do them in a more slow, controlled, modified fashion. However, they are incredibly painful to my knees. Just that slight shift of my weight forward onto my knees in that fashion is really, 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 truly uncomfortable for me. And again, I don't say that to shame anyone from doing it or to say that that's necessarily incorrect. My point in saying that is every body is different. I do not like those at all. I have been in really padded studios where like the whole floor is a mat and it still hurts like the dickens. So I don't ever do that on myself. Even you probably saw me wince a little bit just shifting forward because I really do not like that feeling on my patella. And it could simply be the way my knee is shaped, or it could be from years of dancing and overuse on my knees. However, there are lots of other ways to modify planks to make them a little bit easier for us, and I do want to show you those modifications today. Something to do in your own time, to maybe add into class when you want them. But first and foremost is, of course, coming to a wall and doing kind of a little wall plank. Now, I like to start with my feet about hip distance apart. If you sit down and bring your feet up to the wall, you can find that. But if you just reach out and let your body lightly tip forward. Now you can always play with exactly where it feels best for your hands, but just like we would be if we were actually on our hands and our feet on our mat, we don't want our hands too narrow. We want them about shoulder distance apart or maybe a little bit wider. From here, I want you to think of pulling your belly button in. Oftentimes I see people dump their tush back, but we want to lightly press our pubic bone forward. Pull your belly button up and in, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, lightly bend your elbows down towards the wall. It's almost like we're trying to get back into that dolphin pose from the other day, and then press out and away. Bend those elbows, or just like we would in a Pilates push-up, press them away. Even for some of us, just leaning into the wall like this can be a great big way to turn on our muscles. So if even getting up into your plank is too much, this is a wonderful way to do that. And guess what? There are walls all over the place. So it's not like you have to find, an hour of your day. You could be getting ready for dinner and just do a couple of these and you've warmed up your body. You got a little exercise in. That's always great. Another little thing that I do like about our wall push-up, our wall plank, is that it can also turn into a little bit of stretch for the back of our legs. knees. Now, 2 different ways to do this. Walk your hands a little bit further down, press your hips back, and find a wall downward dog. Much more gentle than when we are simply on our mat. And for any of my friends that regularly sit at an office desk, this is one of my favorite things to do when I've been at my computer or on a long flight. Just holding here, cat and cowing a little bit, maybe rolling the head and the tail, going and finding any little movement that feels good for you. We can try straightening one leg, pressing one hip back. Take a big inhale, bend both knees, press the other hip back, maybe straightening that leg, bring it back, and then roll yourself up. Now from here, again, I want us to lean forward, but I want you to bring your elbows completely onto the wall and then try and press those heels down. You might get a little stretch through the back of your calf muscles. Again, the more you let your pelvis kind of reach forward rather than letting it dump back, the deeper of a stretch we may feel, and the more our muscles are turning on, and it's like a true little forearm plank. Take one more big inhale, press out and away, slide those hands down again, find your little wall dog, take that stretch. Great big breath here. Exhale, bend, forward fold, let that head be heavy. Maybe nod the head, maybe give it a little shake, and then bend the knees and slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. Now, if that is not enough for you, another fabulous way to do a modified plank is to have a chair. And this could be a little bench like mine is. It could be a chair from your kitchen table. It could even be the side of like your couch. Anything that's sturdy, and it doesn't even have to be this exact height. The nice thing is this is also a great modification for those of us with any kind of wrist problem, because as you see, I'm gonna hold the side of my chair. If you are at a couch cushion, maybe you'd be holding the front. You can kind of modify for yourself. But I start with a little bend in my knees, pulling my inner thighs together, pulling my belly button up and in, and broadening across my chest. Take a great big inhale, big breath out. And then I want you to step your right foot back. Hold. Just like if we were on our hands and knees in a tabletop, before we go anywhere, I want you to tone the spot where your thigh and your glute connect, broaden across your shoulders. Take another big breath. And step your left foot out. Now holding here, it's a lot of work. We are doing a lot of work just being up here, but it's a little bit nicer on our wrist. It's not all the weight we would have on our upper body if we were in a true plank. Take a breath. Step your right foot in. Notice, did we pop our booty out? No Beyonce booties today. Tone that tushy, pull that low belly in. Bring your left in. Now let's go back and forth. Left foot out, tone your thud. Right foot out, hold. Give yourself a breath or two, and then bring your left foot in, bring your right foot in. Back and forth we go, in and out, at your own pace. Now normally, it's not about speed in our Pilates class. The slower we go, the harder it becomes. Although, if we do this quickly, if you get the feeling for it and you find your alignment, it can become a nice little cardio step in and out. Let's do 2 or 3 more, back and forth. Reaching out, toning your thud, stepping those legs together, sealing your inner thighs, and then bring it back in. Last one, out, step out, in, step in. Now this time, go ahead, bend those knees, and notice we don't want to dump, we want to pull our belly button up and in. Step your right foot out behind you. Broaden across your chest. Imagine I am holding on to a little string attached to your head and I'm pulling it away. You're lifting that low belly up and in, and from here, can you tone your thud so much you exhale, lift your foot off the ground. Now you can point the toe, you could flex it, it could be floppy, whatever you like, but press down and away from your chair, whatever you've got in front of you. Broaden your shoulders a little bit more, pull that low belly up and in, and then from in here, touch your toe down to the ground. Exhale, lift your foot up. Inhale, touch your toe down to the ground. Exhale, lift your foot up. 2 more, touch it down. Exhale, lift. Touch it down, lift. Hold it right there. Reach that toe further away. Maybe bend your standing knee. You can always look down and make sure that your knee's not wonking out to the side. It's going in the same direction as your toes. And then just like we do in our main sequence, I want us to do some tiny circles here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Tone that belly. Squeeze your thigh. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. One more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Last set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold right there. Press down into the chair. Broaden across your chest. Tone that belly. Squeeze the thigh. And then take a great big inhale. Exhale. Pull your knees together. Draw your inner thighs towards one another. Inhale. Drive your toe out and away. Exhale. Pull the belly button in. Bring it in. Drive it away. Now, just like we did earlier on in our challenge, my back is not moving. I am keeping myself steady, still. I am just moving that leg, and I'm using my abdominal muscles to pull it in and out. You got this. 2 more. Pull it in. Reach it out. Last one. Pull it in. Reach it out. Hold. Take a great big breath here. Squeeze your thigh a little bit more. Lift your heel higher. Drop it down to that starting spot. Exhale. Lift the heel. Inhale. Drop it down. Exhale, lift the heel. Inhale, drop it down. 3 more, lift. Bring it down. 2 more, lift. Bring it down. Last one, lift, stay. Take a great big breath in. Slowly pull that knee back down. Shake, wiggle it out. Is your supporting side a little tired? Good, that's on purpose. Seal those inner thighs together. Lengthen long through the back of the body. Step your left foot out. At first, begin to find that balance. I think about pulling my belly away from the top of my thigh, drawing my ribs in, reaching my head, my neck as far away from my shoulders as possible. Squeeze that thigh, take a big inhale. Lift your leg up. Point that toe. Maybe flex if you prefer on this side. Your call. But imagine that I am yanking your leg out of that ball and socket joint. You are broadening across your chest. Inhale, touch your foot down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, touch your foot down. Exhale, lift up. You got it. Down we go. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Down, exhale, lift. Last one. Down, exhale, lift, stay. Take a moment. Again, make sure your knee is going in the same direction as your toes. Broaden across your chest. Maybe shake your head. Hopefully there's no tension in our neck or face. Smile if there is. Tiny circle time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Point that toe. Imagine I'm holding your hips. They can't hula dance. They can't go side to side. Let's reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. One more set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Last time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a moment here. Lengthen through that low back. If you're having tension and you can't find that length, just set your foot down and reset. Always know that's an option. Take a big inhale. Exhale, pull your knees together. Inhale, reach that toe away. Exhale, draw your inner thighs together. Reach it out and away. 3 more. Pull it in. Send it out. 2 more. Pull it in. Right back out. Last one, pull it in. Send it out, stay. Give yourself a moment here. Low belly pulls up and in. Tone that spot where your thigh and your glute connect. Take a big inhale. Exhale, squeeze that spot. Lift the heel a little higher. Drop it down. Exhale, lift the heel a little higher. Drop it right back down. 3 more, lift it up. Lower down. 2 more, lift it up. Lower down. Last one, lift, hold, take a great big breath. Set that foot down on the ground. Give those hips a wiggle if you need it. Lengthen through the small of your back. Take a big inhale. Step your right foot back, hold. Step your left foot back, hold. Bring those inner thighs together like you've got the tightest little pencil skirt on or a great big rubber band around your inner thighs, whatever works best for your mind. You have got this, my friends. You are doing so fabulous. Take a great big full inhale. Tone your belly a little bit more, cinch the waist, broaden your shoulders. From here, I want us to drop our heels side to side like we do in the main sequence. Take a big inhale, drop your heels to the right. They might not go all the way, that's okay. Bring it back to center. Drop your heels to the left. Bring it back to center. Hold right there. Take a great big breath. Big sigh out. And if possible, could we lift up our right foot from here? If that's too much today, step your left foot in and be back in that same spot we were just at. But otherwise, could we lift that foot up? Look at that. Excellent job. Just like we did earlier, I want you to touch your toe down, exhale, lift. Inhale, touch your toe down, exhale, lift. 2 more, touch your toe down, exhale, lift. Last one, down, lift up, hold. Take a breath. Set that foot back. Can you stabilize, even out those hips? Lift your left foot if you're ready. Take a pause if you need to. Great, big full inhale. Exhale out. Inhale, touch your foot down, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down, squeeze the foot, lift. 3 more down, exhale, lift. 2 more down, exhale, lift. Last one down, exhale, lift. Set that foot down. Walk your feet in. Grab the front edge of the chair, hold right where it is, and just like we did at the wall, take a great big bend in the knees and reach your hips back. If we're a little bit round here, it's absolutely fine, but bend those knees a little deeper and see if you can lengthen throughout your spine. Take a full deep inhale. Great big breath out. Bend your knees. Drop into your forward fold. Let that head be heavy. Bend the knees a little bit more and roll yourself all the way up to standing. Just take a moment and see how we feel from the start of class. Has anything changed? Do we feel a little more fatigued in a certain area of the body, a little more tense, maybe a little stronger, hopefully stronger? But we're going to bring our leg on top of the chair. If we need to put a hand on a wall or we want another chair nearby us for a little extra support, that is always okay. But could we lift our right foot onto the chair? If there's a bend in either of our knees, that's perfectly fine. I want you to think of flexing your foot, standing taller and straighter out of your body. Imagine I'm holding onto your ears and I'm pulling them up. Belly button pulls up and in. Lift your fingertips up nice and high. Take a great big breath here. Exhale, a little hinge forward. Now, just like we would do if we were seated down, and I said to you, it's not about how close your head comes to your leg. Same thing here. Instead, I want you to think of holding your present, giving it a little hug, and maybe deepen that hinge more. One more big breath. Exhale, take it as deep as you'd like to, and then forward fold across your leg. Now this can be a really nice spot for some of us. Maybe it's enough and we want to stay right here. For me, sometimes I like to bend my knee and then straighten my leg a few times, just giving some mobility, a little movement in those joints. Hold for a moment, and then slowly bring yourself up to standing. Again, if you need a hand on the wall, that's perfectly fine. You're doing wonderful. Now, this first time I said flex those toes and bring them up to the face. This time I want you to lightly rotate. Now that rotation comes way up in that ball and socket joint. I'm still flexing my foot, but now my toes are kind of reaching towards my outside hip. Again, reach our fingertips up. That rotation is happening right there. Great big inhale. Exhale, little hinge. Notice how just that small rotation can change that stretch in our leg. Is it too much? Do we need to bend? Do we need to soften? Do we need to lift up a little higher? So many options. Another breath. Exhale, maybe deepen. One more inhale, and then forward fold over the leg. Once more, we can be still, we can bend, we can find a little movement, anything that feels good for you. And then roll yourself up and take that guy off. Give yourself a wiggle if you need it. And we'll hop our other foot on. holding right here is perfectly fine. Taking a moment to stabilize, to notice maybe one side's a little easier to balance on than the other. That's okay. Remember, we don't have a good side and a bad side. We have a good side and a side of opportunity. One has more opportunity to grow. Reach your fingertips nice and high. Lift, lift, lift up out of the waist, and then hinge. Think of those sitting bones reaching out and away from you, elongating that back. Same thing we've been talking about, even in our plank. We're still wanting that spine to be so long, so nice and strong. Exhale, maybe deepen that hinge. One more big breath here, and then forward fold over your leg. Head is heavy. Give it a little nod, a little shake. And then slowly roll yourself up. Just like we did on the other side, we're going to turn our leg out. That comes way up in that ball and socket joint, and all of our joints are a little bit different, so you might have more or less mobility than I do, and that's not good or bad. It's just our bodies are different, just like in our little plank modification. Reach those fingertips up. Stand taller and straighter. It's like I'm grabbing you from the waist and I'm lifting you up, and take a great big hinge. Find that length, especially through the small of the back. Keep pulling that low belly up and in. Maybe deepen. Again, take note of what changes, what feels good. Maybe we need to take it a little deeper, a little more shallow. And then forward fold over your leg. One more big breath here. Big sigh out. Roll yourself up. Let that go. Give your hips a little wiggle. And as always, give yourself a pat on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I certainly hope you enjoyed some of our little modifications today. It's nice to kind of change it up, look at our plank in different ways, just like we have all week. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow, and I hope you're enjoying our 30-day challenge so far.